Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here again. I want to talk about the inflammatory impact from air pollution and from the fire smoke. In particular, we've got these fires in California right now, and the health impact that has on people and how that can affect you on a broader level. This sheet here is something I've shown several times before. And basically, to take you through it, I'm always talking about this chronic inflammation. So we have this chronic inflammatory state, and it can trigger these disorders often that have some hereditary component, diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and the majority of all cancers. Okay, the inflammation can also cause problems with the autonomic nervous system, arthritis, heart failure, and then they can directly lead to just chronic pain, the damage of blood vessels. That's what causes strokes and heart attacks, so forth and so on. Neuropathy, fibromyalgia, osteoporosis. The main categories I talk about typically are overnutrition or excess nutrients harming us, and that being the linoleic acid toxicity in grain oils, then leaky gut, a major one, especially from both now SIBO and COVID is a growing cause of leaky gut in our patients. If these are bad enough or your injury is bad enough, the parasympathetic branch of your autonomic nervous system can't function appropriately. It's one of the major regulators of inflammation in the body, so this is where people would need a vagus nerve stimulator. Now, over here are my kind of odds and ends, I call it. And when it comes to air pollution, the big thing to be concerned about, from my perspective, is these microparticles, 2.5 micron particles. 2.5 micron, that's the size. And when you have a 2.5 micron particle, they are so small, they flow right into your bloodstream when you breathe them in. You cannot filter these out. This is not like soot. You can't see this stuff, okay? Flows right in your bloodstream, and this stuff can cause lots of inflammation in the body. In fact, these things can trigger these white blood cells in the brain called microglia, and make some of these white blood cells become permanently inflammatory. They're called primed M1 microglia. I'll have a video coming up next week discussing that in particular. But I want to talk about these particles and the impact they have. And we have a case was a couple years ago. We had those enormous fires up in Canada. So here, July 27th, 2021. This is a map, as you can see, of the United States from these Canadian fires that stretched all the way across. This is smoke flowing through all the United States from those Canadian fires. Okay, that smoke, that wildfire smoke, is chock full of these 2.5 micron particles. All right, and we have a little study showing the impact this had in New York City, hundreds and hundreds of miles away from the fires. All right, now in Phoenix, Arizona, where I live, typically our air quality index, which is predominantly the 2.5 micron particles, ranges 30 to 45 in the low range. Okay, here you're up to 100. In New York, they had a couple days where they had these high levels. Okay, and they hit those high levels, and that ended up increasing hospitalization or emergency room visits by 50%. So here, before the smoke wave, over a 2-day period, you had 253, or I should have a 3-day period, and then here with the smoke wave, it went up to 783, and then a week after the smoke wave, it came back down. Those are the particles from the smoke flowing into your bloodstream and triggering asthma and making asthma worse. Okay? Now, we had a recent event here. This is before the California wildfires. This is on New Year's Day. This is the air quality report from Phoenix, or Buckeye, I should say. That's the town I live in on the west side of the valley, Phoenix Valley. 306. This New Year's Day, the air seemed clean. We had a long walk with our dog. We actually went out and had lunch outdoors. Now, I have bad asthma. By that night, something bad was happening to me. I pretty much had to stay up all night treating my asthma. By the next day, the air quality had dropped down to still 185, way above that New York number. Okay? And I finally had to, if I was the doctor, I would have been in the hospital, for sure. And then the numbers finally were dropping down. This is as of yesterday. Not great. 82. We may be picking up some of that smoke from California now, heading this way. Now, why did this number spike up on New Year's Eve? Could be fireworks. It could be during the holidays, people have their fireplaces going here. It's nice and cool, and I don't know. But the day before this, the numbers had only been about 50. So, very real thing. So if you're around these, if you're sensitive, got asthma, you can have, there are different things online. You can get the air quality index just emailed to you every day, so you can see what's going on. If you have high numbers, so if we get up to the hundreds, I'm wearing my N95 mask. So these are 2.5 micron particles. An N95 mask can filter 0.05 particles, much even smaller things than that. So it'll give you good protection. Okay. The concern in the long term, though, if you live, and we've had this problem with some children with autism, if you live somewhere where it's high a lot, so I'm talking, we have patients, a number of patients in India, and where, especially in the winter times, they will have for prolonged periods of time air quality index numbers 2, 3, 4, 500. Okay, and we've had children who are recovering nicely, doing well, go to India for a period of time, they're exposed to that, and all recovery stops. It's a very real thing. And it's a difficult thing. I understand it's not easy just to leave town if you're in an area with a lot of smog, but I want you to know it makes a difference. It makes a difference. That's all I've got for today. Otherwise, everybody, take care of yourselves. If you got a lung disease, you may want to wear N95s if you go out when the numbers are up. Remember to hit subscribe if you want to get more of our videos. That's all for today. Everybody, take care.